my 100 pitchers in 50 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna do that for all of you. I'll even bring this up because I see now that the ticker, there we go, was blocking it. When I am done with this presentation, I'm looking to all of you to make it so that we have hit our $10,000 goal. Okay, are you ready? Let's start the clock. And actually, you know what? Hold on, I gotta go through here because I forgot to mention this is more like 120 pitchers. Because, like, I can't cut it off. I'm not doing my rankings all the way through. I'm just gonna go team by team. So that's gonna be a little different. I actually have it as an hour. I need to change this timer because I realized that that's not even right. It needs to be 50 minutes. I gotta give myself 10 fewer minutes. Okay. I just edited it. What are you doing? Yes, give me this. Okay, start it. No, stop. Why is it 2 days? Oh, 50 hours. Oh my gosh. I'm just messing this up, guys. See, this is good content. This is what we wanted. Okay, there we go. 50 minutes. No, stop and reset it. All right. Oh boy, killing it. It's more like 120 pitchers, okay? So sue me that I'm not exactly right. Thanks a lot for the support, Madison. This is an order by team, okay, and is not ranking. So let's start the clock. And here we go. All right. First, we have Zach Gallen, 2.54 ERA last year with a .91 whip. Really good game, called strikes on his four-seamer down in the zone. Really good with that changeup and curveball, matching it. 80% low lock on that curveball is incredible. He had those 72 frames of 1.36 ERA and a .72 whip. But can he keep doing it? I think it's going to regress a little bit. The Arizona Diamondback defense is going to get a little bit worse. Keep that in mind with Zach Allen, but I still really like him for a lot of innings this year. Good production. His buddy, Merrill Kelly, 3.37 ERA, 1.14 whip last year. 200 innings, though. Don't buy it whatsoever. I think that's going to get worse, especially as the defense should be worse for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He might be a Toby in season, but look, his stuff just isn't that good. The changeup wasn't that good. Don't rely on it. I'm not going to talk about Madison Bumgarner. I'm not going to talk about Zach Davies. I don't really care. There's Dre Davidson and Ryan Nelson. Maybe some Andrew Fott to consider as well. But really, Ryan Nelson is the one that I like the most. I think he has the most action on his four-seamer that I like, and then the slider and curveball are interesting as well. Dre Jameson, I know you throw hard, but I don't think your fastball is that good. Also, he threw hard, and then all of a sudden it dropped as the season went on for him after his debut. We've got Max Fried in the joint. Oh, Max Fried, you're wonderful. You had two bad starts. Actually, really one bad start at the beginning of the year, and then it was just amazing. Once again, second straight year in a row, his changeup introduction was so good. 9% hard contact, 1.73 batting average allowed on it. 46% O swing is just amazing. And guess what? His sinker had a 45% O swing against lefties. Is what you want to see. Of course, you got everybody's favorite. That is Spencer Strider. Oh, hi, Spencer Strider. You get a lot of strikeouts. 38% K rate last year, .99 whip. Is he going to be able to survive for 180 innings? I do have my questions about it. He did have the oblique injury that he did recover from. It wasn't a grade 4 or so. It was a grade 1. He came back from that. It does feel like Spencer Strider, even with all the stuff that he does, his conditioning, I'm a little bit worried about it. But man, that ceiling is just so dang high. Maybe you do want to go for it about 15 overall or so. I get it. Did I miss somebody here? No, okay, I did not. It is Kyle Wright. I'm staying away. I am terrified. He's just really on that curveball, and that's it. Sometimes the yacker isn't there. He started off really hot and then slowed down. He had 116 whip by the end of it, only a 24% strikeout rate. The fastball's not very good. The sinker's not very good. The changeup's not very good. Command was always issue beforehand, and I don't really think he's good enough. Now, I might be in on Charlie Morton, though. Charlie Morton, 4.34 ERA, 123 whip, 28% K rate. And I know he was slow for the first 2 months of the year. It was the middle of June. They started to all of a sudden pick it up again. And he actually talked about his extension. His push-off was bad because he broke his leg and he wasn't really back to his normal self. Once he was doing that, sure, it wasn't as amazing, 3.63 ERA, but a 110 whip and a 30% K rate across 111 innings. I think I'm willing to buy into that, especially I have my 4 starters already. If he's my 5th starter, I want to take that chance. But, just get rid of him if it doesn't work out. You have Mike Soroka and Ian Anderson. I love Mike Soroka, and please just get him in your 12-team drafts. What's the worst case scenario? You drop him before the season starts. Best case, he earns that 5th spot, and it's Mike Soroka. Remember, 175 innings of a 2.68 ERA and a .88 whip. This guy is really, really, really good, and if he's healthy, I'm all in. There's also Ian Anderson in the group. He might work it back. Look, the model for PLV is just like it is with Pitching Plus. We don't like the changeup whatsoever. I gotta really see a lot more before I really jump in on Ian Anderson. Let's go on to the next guys. Grayson got Rodriguez, and of course the Orioles team. Get Grayson Rodriguez. Just do it. Just do it in like the 16th round after you get your 4 guys. I think he's an elite talent. I think everything we talked about him really is marking a stud pitcher. Just go get Grayson Rodriguez, especially with the left field fence. The rest of them are what? Kyle Gibson. He had a new slider, and I don't really care. I really don't care about that new slider because he allowed 12 earned runs in the last 2 games, but maybe he's a streamer. You have Cole Irvin just acquired. Maybe he is a Toby. He did have a 13% swing strike rate on his 4-seam, which is really weird, but a 215 batting average allowed on a 90 to 91 mile per hour fastball. Is this Nestor Cortez 2.0? Nah, probably not. Even though the changeup is pretty good, I think this is just a Toby at best. And then Kyle Bradish, too much cut action on the fastball, and he needs to fix that. The slider does have its moments. The curveball does have its moments, but he's so inconsistent. Maybe he does take off at some point, but you really don't need to do this. Same with like Tyler Wells and Dean Kramer and Austin Voth and Spencer Watkins, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Let's move on to Chris Sale. I'm getting Chris Sale everywhere. Chris Sale to me is not one of those situations. Oh, he might be injured or so. The price is baked in right now. He's going to what, 45th or so, 50th overall. I think you can get your 4 starters that make him your 5th. Boy, am I excited about that because it was a fractured finger and yes, the wrist stuff too, but he should be good to go and he's never been bad. So sure, you get 130 innings of this, but you don't have to pay Kershaw dollars to get that. I'm in on this. You have Corey Kluber. I'm not really in on it. I know his curveball and cutter are generally very good. Changeup was okay. Fastballs are just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I think you're just going to be getting a Toby here for Corey Kluber. I'm not interested. Skipped over Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta, oh, don't do this. He's so bad at getting his low locations on his breaking stuff. 41% low location on the curveball, 61% is average, and elite was, of course, like the 80% of Zach Gallen, and he can't do that. So no, thank you. And Brian Bayo is very interesting. I know everyone's talking about him with Pedro and all that. He throws 96 plus mile per hour sinkers. He's able to flirt with a 65% strike rate with that, but his slider, man, too much hard contact last year, just a 9% swing strike rate on that. 402 batting average allowed is so bad, 452 BABIP. Changeup is good against lefties, but there really needs too much to improve, especially with a hittable fastball. You also have Garrett Whitlock and James Paxton. With James Paxton, I think he's a really nice end of your draft. Just see what happens in spring training. There's so many guys that are like this, where you just see how they're doing in spring training. If they're actually in the rotation and pitching, like why not when your last pick? And maybe that is something really good. Garrett Whitlock kind of could be Aaron Nola. He focuses on sinkers, glove side a ton. But I need to see more with the other stuff. The slider has a good swing strike rate, but he made a lot of mistakes with it. It's interesting. I actually think there might be something there with Garrett Whitlock as he gets regular starts. All right, let's move on to Marcus Stroman and the Cubs. Stroman's fine. I think it's kind of funny how people were just forgetting him, but a 3.5 ERA, 115 whip this past year. Yes, he's kind of a Toby. You don't draft Tobys, but for your deeper leagues, like he's got Dansby Swanson behind him now. It should be a decent amount of wins. I don't really see why Marcus Stroman shouldn't really be good for your fantasy teams again. You have Jameson Taillon as well. And Jameson Taillon, I'm kind of excited about. 3.91 ERA, but only a 113 whip, 21% K rates. There are ways that I think he can improve. I think it's utilizing that slider down and into left-handers a little bit more. I think he got better at that command as well. Utilizing that curveball a ton more. It's a much better pitch than he utilized it last year. I think those changes can be made. There were some adjustments with the 4-seamer and cutter, and I think there's a better version of Jameson Taillon we haven't seen yet, and I think he can get it with the Cubs. Maybe a change of scenery will benefit him. You have Justin Steele, everyone's favorite because he had a 25% K rate. Well, also a 10% walk rate. He just has a good slider. You heard Eno talk the other day. I agree with him completely. It's a good slider and nothing else that's really good. The 4-seamer is just not very good. No, go away, Justin Steele. Just go away. We also have Kyle Hendricks, who is hurt right now. He's not even going to start the season pitching for the team. Why would you even invest in that one? Don't waste your IL spot. Don't do that one. Drew Smiley, very, very interesting, especially for deeper leagues. He was killing at the end of last year. Blake Snell blueprint with sinkers up and curveballs down. It was kind of great. 277 ERA, 109 whip with a 22% K rate since July 16th of last year. 14% overall swing strike rate. Now he's in a good situation in the Cubs. I'm kind of interested. Same with Hayden Wesneski, who should be the number 5 above Keegan Aiken and Adrian Thompson. Maybe I just got that pack back. Adrian Sampson, Keegan Thompson. Hayden Wesneski's got a really nice curveball. I kind of like what he does, but it is as a number 5. It's a little bit looser. And I don't know if he's necessarily the one I want to go for because it won't last very long and we probably won't go deep into games, but I kind of dig it. All right. I'm moving on to Dylan Cease. Hi, Dylan Cease. What's up, buddy? Yeah, good to see you. Okay, cool. You're not going to be a 220 E rate. We know that, and the 10% walk rate is way too high. Your slider is so good, and your fastball and curveball are not. Seriously, he's not going to be as good. You know this already. Lance Lynn. He's still going to get to plus 200 Ks. He's probably going to have like a 115 whip. He's probably going to have like a 3.5 ERA. Dylan Cease. Okay. Lance Lynn actually could match him. Honestly, also Dylan Cease 24% K rate the last like 3 months of the year. Lance Lynn is really, really good. Last 85 frames, 2.52 ERA, 0.97 whip, and a 26% K rate. Just a 3% walk rate. That is the old Lance Lynn that you know. Yes, the knee is a little bit weird because it is his landing leg. It's a little bit more cautious there. But Lance Lynn is such a good value right now. Everyone's kind of forgetting about it. Lucas Giolito, everyone thinks, oh, yeah, he's going to hit the reset button and he's totally fine. Is that true? I mean, he's changed his arm angle again back to the old one, and the old one was the bad one. I don't really know if I really want to take the chance on Lucas Giolito, especially with a lot of other guys. I'd rather go for Charlie Morton, for example, than Lucas Giolito. But if he does increase that velocity to 93, 94 once again, that's when I start paying attention in the spring because then the change in the curve and the slider do get much better. Michael Kopech, get him. Right now, he's like a 300. Why? We loved Michael Kopech last year, and then he dealt with his knee injury all year. So what does he do? He gets surgery on it, and it's his back leg, not his loading leg, not his load-bearing leg. It is his back leg. This is a simple surgery. He should be good to go. No news is good news. If he's all good for spring training, he is the number 4 right now for the White Sox. Yeah, take that chance for free. It's for free, and it's Michael Kopech. He throws super hard. He's got 2 good breaking balls. Do it. I'm just going to skip past Mike Clevenger because I don't like that guy, and you shouldn't either. So forget about Mike Clevenger completely. Let's move on to Hunter Green. 4.44 ERA, 121 whip. I know. Not great. 4-seamer's elite. So is that slider. He is actually Spencer Strider and Christian Javier in disguise. 31% K rate last year, 9% walk rate. Elevated his 4-seamers by the end of the year. And what did he do? 6 starts were brilliant. We're talking 102 ERA, 0.85 whip, 37% K rate with just a 6% walk rate. When he throws his fastball up, he doesn't allow a hit. All of his hits were low. All of them. This is really exciting. He's also super young. I think he made an adjustment, and this could carry on into next season. You have Nick Lodolo, 3.66 ERA, 125 whip, 30% K rate, 9% walk rate, 31% CSW last year. The sinker is more east-west than I would like it to be. I want him to be more of the prime Andrew Heaney of going up and in to opposite-handed batters. By the way, he faced like 80% right-handers last year. Destroys lefties with that slider. There's a lot of potential here, especially if that changeup gets unlocked, but it is Great American Small Park. There's more volatility in this than I want to admit. You have Graham Ashcraft. He throws hard, but his stuff isn't that good. It is a fastball that it gets hit too hard. The slider isn't consistent enough. All of this stuff, I just don't want to go after Graham Ashcraft. You have other guys, too, I should mention there. There's Connor Overton and Justin Dunn and Lee Sessa. No, I'm just kidding. We're not talking about any of those guys. But we are going to talk about Shane Bieber. 2.88 ERA in exactly 200 innings last year, 104 whip, 25% K rate, 5% walk rate. I don't think he's that great. His fastball just getting worse and worse and worse. Do we believe that the breakers are going to do enough yet again? Only a 25% K rate. That's relying a little too much on the batted ball, and I think that's going to catch up to him a little bit this year. I still like him. I think he is one of those stalwarts inside the Aces of Dubs, but not someone I'm going over to get. You have Tristan McKenzie I'm out on. I don't buy this 4-seamer whatsoever. I'm trying to do mental math right now. I'm on through 29. That means I should be about 15 minutes. Okay, I'm doing great on time. I'm killing it right now. Tristan McKenzie, 2.96 ERA, 0.95 whip, 26% carry, 6% walk rate. The fastball is just, I don't know how the fastball didn't get crushed more, honestly. The curveball with 120 batting average, allowed 23% swing strike rate, and sitting under a 16% hard contact rate is great. Keeps it low over 75% of the time. That's great, but I think it bounces it too much. And that's a problem. 31% put away rate should go down. That's exceptional and should go down moving forward. Put away rate being with 2 strikes, how often does it result in a strikeout? Tristan McKenzie's slider is also very iffy. Fastball should get hit harder. I think this is a trap play for the year ahead. You have Aaron Savali, who actually has some encouraging things. The curveball is really good, and they started utilizing it more. That is excellent. He also has a cutter that he pairs. Now, the sinker is so bad. So is the 4-seamer. And so the more that you can go cutter curveball, let's say 70% of the time, that's possible, then I'm in on Aaron Savali. That could be really solid, especially in your deeper leagues. Aaron Savali could put up 150 plus innings. I know injuries have gone to him, but this could be the year that he actually puts it together for a good ERA. 119 whip and 24% K rate if you ignore the 4.92 ERA from last year. So there is stuff there. Zach Plesac, I don't think he's very good. I mean, he's not very good. He has a slider, he has a changeup, he has a curveball. He throws a slider against right-handers, changeups and curveballs against lefties. His fastball isn't good. He doesn't have the slider and changeup he used to have. We're not going to do that one. Cal Quantrill and Cody Morris. Cal Quantrill rates like one of the worst pitchers in our model in PLV. I mean, 17% strikeout rate, 121 whip, and a 3.38 ERA. You know this. You know this isn't it. He does jam batters decently well with the sinker. Good O swing on that 36%. But that is it. Just the right-handers. I can't. You can't keep getting away with it. Cody Morris is a nice deeper play if there is an opening inside of the Guardians. Maybe it is Zach Plesac. Maybe Cal Quantrill just falls apart. Cody Morris is an intriguing one. He has a good cutter and an elevated fourth seam, 13% swing strike rate on that. But don't go after in a 12-teamer yet. That's just kind of from afar. Maybe he becomes a good streamer. All right. And who, by the way, I ask you, is the best Tigers starting pitcher? I don't know. I really don't know. It could be Eduardo Rodriguez coming back from being AWOL for a bit. It could be Matthew Boyd returning all of a sudden to the Tigers. It could be Michael Lorenzen, who isn't so bad, but he's really just a Toby. And Matt Manning, who I don't like whatsoever. He increases fastball velocity a little bit, but then he didn't in other starts, and there really is not anything else inside of that repertoire. It's so bad. He had this one game of about 12 whiffs on his slider, and then he saw it over the plate, and you're like, oh, wait. No, the strike zone plot of this is like the whiffs were over the plate, and oddly so. Spencer Turnbull might be my favorite one to go after as he comes back from Tommy John surgery. That might be the way to go if you're going to chase anybody on the Tigers. I think it's either between Turnbull and Matthew Boyd. Eduardo Rodriguez, I think there's just too much he needs to do to really be his old self. It's changeups down away to right-handers, maybe some sinkers that are trying to steal strikes, same with the slider and the cutter. But I think it's too weak and volatile for me to go after that. All right. Moving past the Tigers, we're going to go to some good stuff like Framber Valdez. Hey, what's going on, Framber Valdez? You had 201 innings last year. Beautiful. 2.82 ERA, but a 116 whip with an 8% walk rate. And I do want to lean on that. Why? Because it should get worse. It was worse the year before. And I think this is the peak for Framber Valdez. Maybe you could say it's like a 111, 112 whip. But I do believe that Framber Valdez with an elite curveball and a sinker that still gets hit, even though it is thrown harder, it still gets hit really, really hard. 40% hard contact. No. That's not what it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think there's too much volatility in this. People are going after it because of the volume, because it's a 2.82 ERA, because he gets a 23% K rate and has a high amount of wins because it's the Astros, and they want to say, look, the good defense, but he's still at a 116 whip, and it should be worse. That's not fun for me. What I do like, oh boy, I love Christian Javier. Oh yeah, how can you not like Christian Javier? You don't like Christian Javier? Why don't you like Christian Javier? He's amazing. He is Spencer Strider, but he's just going a little bit later. And guess what? He doesn't throw as hard, which to me actually speaks to a little bit less of an injury risk. That's how I'm interpreting that 2.54 ERA, 0.95 whip with a 33% K rate last year. He's elite. His four-seamer, I think, is one of the highest modeled four-seamers that we have. It is so good, and I think he can get better if he does get more strikes with that breaking ball. We have Lance McCullers Jr., who isn't a bad play, but I think he's going a little too high as people are expecting too much out of him, considering he's still a busted elbow, and he had 47 innings last year. It's a high strikeout rate, but the whip was high, 124, 11% walk rate. He doesn't have his command, and I think it's still going to be an issue, not to mention innings have never been a thing for him, even before this Tommy John and then the elbow thing. It's just too much of a headache, and I just don't want to touch Lance McCullers this year. If it's free, it's free. That's fine. Jose Urquidy does really well with our model, and I'm kind of back in, especially in deeper leagues. In my 12 teamers at the end of the draft, especially in a quality start league, something like that, I could see myself going for Jose Urquidy. I think he has a good kitchen sink approach with fastballs and changeups and sliders and curveballs. This is interesting, especially for a winning ball club. I especially prefer it more than Luis Garcia, who I think just can't figure quite out with his slider and his cutter. The Astros didn't even trust him in the playoffs last year, and that should kind of tell you something. So I think that his fastball is not very good. The cutter is amazing, and then he stopped kind of throwing it and throwing more curveballs at a moment, and it was so strange. I just think Luis Garcia, you're fine having him in your 12th team. I'm okay with it. Take a chance, make it happen, pop the cork, fingers snapping, but I don't want to go after it early. So I think early inside the first 18 rounds or so. I think that's too much for Luis Garcia. There's also Hunter Brown. A lot of people have really been chasing Hunter Brown. I don't think it's a six-man rotation this year. It made a lot of sense last season as they want to add innings to Garcia and Urquidy, and McCullers was coming back and Verlander was coming back and all this stuff. It was really just Framber Valdez who could handle the workload. Now everybody should be getting more innings. So they shouldn't be utilizing Hunter Brown as the sixth man in a six-man rotation. If he does amaze in the spring, maybe Luis Garcia's out. But I would anticipate that Hunter Brown is in relief. This could be the Spencer Strider if you want. Watch my video on his MLB debut. I don't think his fastball is as good, though. I know we want it to be. It comes in hard, but actually isn't as good. All right. You have Brady Singer and friends. Brady Singer, a lot of people really are into this because of the 3.23 ERA, 114 whip, and a 24% K rate with just a 5.6% walk rate. He's a two-pitch guy. And what I say about two-pitch guys is that you need to have two elite pitches if I'm going to do this. It's a sinker and it's a slider. Sometimes the sliders get whiffs. Sometimes they do. 18% swing strike rate. It's a money pitch. 40% O swing. 40% zone rate. Batters had a 237 batting average allowed and 26% hard contact against it, though. That's not as elite as I want it to be. The sinker is an elite called strike pitch. But is that enough? I think this could be a 4 ERA 120 plus whip season. I think the walk rate could get out of hand. Maybe he does improve, and that's good. Wins are going to be tougher to get. Brady Singer is probably going to be my 60s or 70s. While I see some people putting him inside the top 50, I just can't do that. I just see a two-pitch pitcher here who's still volatile. He's the same guy to me as he was in 2021. You also have like Ryan Yarbrough. Maybe that's a sneaky play for deeper leagues because he actually will go the full game, as opposed to the Rays handling him. Not for me. Jordan Lyles, no thank you. That was just the ballpark helping him out in Baltimore. Daniel Lynch, maybe one day. Chris Bubich, no. Brad Keller, no. Not doing this. Not doing this. Oh, Shohei, thank you so much for showing up. Oh my gosh, I needed you. 166 innings last year. Now, Stephen Lyman made a really good point about Shohei saying, look, he's a DH. That's not the double the risk. He's not playing the field, right? That's a really good point to me. So maybe he can go more than the 130 innings that we saw in 2021. Once again, 233 ERA, 101 whip, 33% K rate. You can think utilizing the slider a whole lot more. Oh my gosh, I think it's the best slider in our model last season. So maybe save for Jacob deGrom's. It is so good. 40% CSW as he threw 40% of the time. He's crazy, crazy good. 72% strike rate. Shohei Ohtani also has that cutter to get some strikes, and then a splitter, sometimes the curveball. Fastball does get hit, though. It does get hit. That's the one weakness of Shohei Ohtani. That's why he got through the most sliders. I find it really hard to rank Shohei Ohtani because of the inning expectations, but yeah, you're fine. You should be good with it. We've got some Reed Detmers to show up right now. I really like Reed Detmers because I think what we saw for that peak in 2022 can be a much longer thing in 2023. He knows the tweak he needs to make. It was his shoulders that were dipping too much. He adjusted with Buddy Carlisle in the minor leagues. There's an ace in here when he gets slider whiffs. When he has slider whiffs, the curveball is a really good pitch. The four-seamer is good upstairs. Now, the Angels are not the best organization for development. I understand if that gives you hesitation, but I want to take the chance. I think once I have my four starters, Reed Detmers is in that crew, the 5, 6, 7. Those guys, Reed Detmers wants to be a part of that for a lot of my leagues. We also have Patrick Sandoval, the Canada, Irish Canada, 2.91 ERA. Wonderful. 134 whip, 9% walk rate, 24% K rate. His changeup wasn't as good last year. The slider is actually the pitch that really took off, but the fastballs are bad. The fastballs are so bad. And this could be the Guardians' approach, but he needs more consistency out of that changeup, which is surprising because that was the pitch that drove the 32 whiffs shirt. So I'm a little hesitant to Patrick Sandoval right now. I think he's too much of a cherry bomb at the moment, but he's kind of falling in drafts. And if he falls outside of the top 18 rounds, like, yeah, all right, I'll take some chances on this, make it happen, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to sing the song again. Tyler Anderson should not be forgotten about just because he's leaving the Dodgers. And I know that was the best defense behind him. The changeup was a lot better. And John Legueza made a really good point about 2.57 ERA, one whip. How much do we see that guy drop? Maybe that was Scott White. Both of them are really smart people. They both like Tyler Anderson. Made me like Tyler Anderson more. I'm going to be pushing him up a little bit, but it is a low strikeout rate, just a 19.5% strikeout rate. That should not get much better for Tyler Anderson. The changeup, again, it is really good. He should be beneficial as like a Toby type again. Just probably add a 1 to that ERA. So 3.5 ERA, 3.6, and then like a 110 whip with that same K rate. That's still pretty dang good. Jose Suarez destroys lefties. He's bad against righties. If he in some way faces a lefty-heavy lineup, Jose Suarez, what's up? You're going to be on my team or we're going to be streaming, buddy. No, I didn't forget the Rockies. We're not going to do the Rockies. Yeah, Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Clayton Kershaw, 126 innings, 228 ERA, 0.94 whip, 28% K rate, 5% walk rate, 12 wins last year. That's pretty much what you should expect again because the slider is still an absolute elite pitch. He's still really good at getting away with that fastball. He's got the big curveball. Like, go for it. Why not? Now, I don't want to go for it in top 25 because you can't expect more than 130 innings. And I want to go for an all four of my guys, workhorses through the year. I'll find my upside and smaller innings through the year off the waiver wire. That's a different story. And I don't want to go for Kershaw in the top 30 because there's still some really good guys that you can go for and solidify your roster. But if he's fallen to 35, 40, that's my 4. Okay, that just might mean I need to jump up who my 5 is a little bit earlier. But yeah, that's going to be really good. Julio Urias at 175 innings. I believe that's next. Okay, good. 216 ERA, 0.96 whip, 24% K rate. I don't like him as a human. But I do recognize that the curveball is a really good pitch. It should make him very good once again. A lot of people fading him because of the 404 steamer. Honestly, I wouldn't read too much into that. He's still going to be a really good ERA and whip guy. That's just who he is. Fastball's really good. It also improved as the season went on as he increased his velocity. There is opportunity for a 25 to 30% K rate here. I believe that is a thing. Changeup could get better as well. It's really tough to rank Tony Gonsolin. I talked about this with Paul Sporer earlier today. 130 innings pitched, 214 ERA, 0.87 whip, and 24% K rate. 16 wins last year. You're going to say, oh, he's really good in the play rater. 16 wins and 1 loss. That's why. Splitter got in the zone so much more, went up 10 points in strike rate to 70% from 60%. That was it. He needed to do that because the slider's still not a reliable pitch. The fastball isn't very good, though. And the slider is actually kind of good, but it doesn't get enough strikes, which means the splitter has to do all the work. And you know me, I don't believe that Gonsolin splitter is going to be this good. Eno also mentioned he benefited most from the shift than any other pitcher last year with like a 202 BABIP, I believe it was. 207. 207. The 84% left on base rate. Sub 10% homer fly ball rate. You know the hotel. You know it's not in favor of this being sustainable for Tony Gonsolin. You have Dustin May. Oh boy, am I I'm not halfway done, and oh no, I'm behind. 30 innings, 450 ERA, 117 WHIP. His stuff is good. We all know this, but I don't know if the command's going to stick around. I don't know if he's going to get it back. Is really what I should say. It is intriguing. Maybe after Tommy John coming back and really being his old self, that's a good thing. What am I even saying? I'm trying to say that Dustin May is a really good SB5, SB6 to go for because there is a chance that after Tommy John, he's healthy again. But I don't want to chance it too much. There are some really intriguing guys I think have an easier path right now. Still question mark if he has the command of that cutter and that curveball again. You also have Noah Syndergaard, who I just don't want to touch. I don't care. He's going to the Dodgers. I don't care about Driveline. I don't want to touch Noah Syndergaard. Hey, Sandy Alcantara. Thanks for the break, buddy. This is 229 innings. I know the strikeout rate is lower, but he has the volume to make up for it. 0.98 whip. He should honestly be better on the strikeouts because he's that good at everything he does. The changeup is so good. I think that his command could get better, and he's just a rock for your teams. Jesus Luzardo, I'm a huge fan of this. Both sides of his injury came back and performed well. Had the velocity increase. It was 97 to begin the year, 96 otherwise. I think he can get that velocity back again with his new health. The health is the biggest question mark, but his stuff is so good. Curveball's elite, changeup is elite. I really want to take a chance on Jesus Luzardo. There are so many guys to discuss here with the Marlins. Trevor Rogers, is he going to be able to get his changeup back? His changeup and slider back. His fastball should be really good, though. Eric Cabrera should get an opportunity, but the fastball is very erratic. But then again, he has a really good changeup and a really good breaking ball. I think there's too much command question for me to chase Eric Cabrera in most cases. You have Sixto Sanchez. Look, just take a chance at the end of the draft because of his injury. Like, let's just see if he's doing all right. Johnny Cueto, there's no way he's repeating Johnny Cueto magic. Okay, 335 ERA, not a chance with a 16% K rate. No way, not going to happen. Braxton Garrett's kind of good. We like his sinker. 125 whip, 358 ERA. There is something to be said here, but I think of him more as a streamer. Yuri Perez could make an impact all of a sudden, but no, they're going to take their time with that. And yeah, why not? My barber should just get included because everybody's here. Okay, I need a moment. How are we doing? Have we hit our goal? Have we hit our goal yet? Where are we? 9,100. Okay, guys. $900. You think we can do this? We've got 27 minutes. I believe in you. I believe in you. Come on, we can do this. If I can get through this in 21 minutes, we can hit this. $900. That's it. And then we hit our goal of $10,000 we'll raise for the ALS Association. Tweet it out. Get us there. I believe in you. I got to take a sip of water and get back to this. Yeah, peel per mug, only for pre-orders. All right. Okay. Excuse me. We got speeding up to do because I am so far behind. All right, Corbin Burns, he is good. He's going to be really good again. 202 innings. I believe we should get that again. He's a stud. He's my SP1. He's as consistent as it is. And he's SP1 because he's just going to be that good. And you know he's going to be that good. Brandon Woodruff is going up my drafts because 238 ERA, 1 whip, 31% K rate, and 124 frames after figuring out he had Raynaud's disease. Raynaud's? Oh my God. My brain is breaking right now. But I have it a little bit too. You figure it out. He's good to go. Believe in him. Freddie Peralta talked to Stephen Limey. He's like, that shoulder's busted. No, do not go after shoulder stuff. Don't do it. I'm staying away. But I was actually really encouraged about Freddie Peralta because he's still so good when he pitches. But yeah, you can't depend on the innings. No way. Aaron Ashby and the rest. Aaron Ashby is really bad against right-handers because the sinker is so bad against right-handers, and I need him to get a four-seamer. I need him to figure out to throw something else but that sinker against right-handers. If he can do that, then we're good. But he's also the sixth man right now as there's Eric Lauer and there's Wade Miley. That's a problem. Maybe, of course, when Freddie Peralta gets hurt, I'm so sorry, Freddie Peralta. I hope your shoulder's okay. Then Aaron Ashby gets his opportunity. That's fine, but then he's still going to have that sinker and a 10% walk rate, right? So I'm staying away from Aaron Ashby right now, despite how much I enjoyed the stuff. Eric Lauer, the four-seamer, has its moments and then disappears, and it drives me insane. Maybe it does increase his velocity again. He's not a bad player to have in your 12-teamer, but just play the matchups. Wade Miley is a streaming option in deeper leagues, but that's about it. I don't want to really chance that in my 12-teamers out of the gate. I really like Joe Ryan, though. 147 innings last year, 3.55 ERA, 110 whip. I think the four-seamer is excellent. And I think the slider is getting better. Fast talked about being a sweeper last year and really changing and being better. I think it's there. I think Joe Ryan has the opportunity to soar in Minnesota. I love him as my SP5. I've gotten him as my SP5 multiple times, and I love that. I absolutely do. Pablo Lopez is really good. I don't think that we should be saying that, oh, no, it's 3.7+ ERA is going to be bad. I think he's going to be in a better situation now in Minnesota with more wins. However, he might be limited a little bit more because he is a two-pitch pitcher. His four seamers, some sinkers, and a lot of changeups. Also, there's a cutter and the curve that come up for about 25% usage at most. Yeah, that might mean that he's a 5 and dive. That is, he's not allowed to go through the lineup 3 times. That was, oh my gosh, I am Raynaud's. Thank you so much, G. But right, so that might be a little bit cautious for Lopez, but I think he's just still really good. And he will help your teams. I'm happy with him as my SP4 or 5, just like Joe Ryan. You have Sonny Gray, 120 innings last year, 308 ERA, and 113 whip. His curveball has really been the thing that has helped him get some stability. 66% strike rate last year means a 7% whip. Walk rate. Oh no, I am breaking now. 24% K rate, 113 whip for Sonny Gray. I like this. I think he's a volatile pitcher as it is, though, and there's also, of course, the injury that kept him down last year. So I think he's going too far in drafts at the moment. Like, I would love to take him as my SP6. Yeah, of course. It's a winning team. Gray is still good. But it's not someone I really want to go and chase. Tyler Mahle can have a 200 strikeout season. He did before. It is a shoulder thing. And that is a little bit scary, but Tyler Mahle doesn't have to go in the top 40. No, he's going like the top 70 right now. And that can be excellent for your team's four-seamer is really, really good. Don't ignore Tyler Mahle as someone to pick up later on in your drafts. Kenta Maeda should be picked up in all your drafts at the end of it. So like I love a lot of these Twins pitchers. I think they're getting overlooked a decent amount. Bailey Ober was interesting before the Pablo Lopez acquisition. Now he's going to be a streamer I might consider in season. Depends on how they ramp him up. But Kenta Maeda, just see how he's doing in the spring. If he's got his velocity and looking all right, then there you go. You got good things. Garrett Cole pitches for the Yankees. And guess what? He's excellent. He is my SP2. Maybe the balls are not as out of his favor. Then he has a lower ERA. But yeah, he's still incredible. Carlos Rodon is, I think, my SP6 or 7. 180 innings last year, 288 ERA, 103 whip, 33% K rate, 7% walk rate. He's clearly past the injury that he had in 2021. I think this is such a good situation for him. He's going to dominate once again. Yeah, go get Carlos Rodon. Luis Severino, I am worried about the injuries with him, 100 innings, 102. But if he's back and he's okay, and he's recovered and he's fine, this could be actually a really good season for Luis Severino. I think his stuff was there like an ace. 1 whip, 318 ERA, 28% K rate. That's ace level stuff. across 102 innings, there's some more upside to even reach with it. So I'm a fan of Luis Severino, but the innings are going to be weird. So you don't have to get him as an SP3 though. If you do that, you're taking on too much risk. I love Nestor Cortez though for this year. 158 innings, 2.44 ERA, 0.92 WHIP, 27% K rate. Like, how's he doing this with a 90 to 91 miles per hour fastball? Because he gets such a good VAA on it. He elevates it effectively. It is one of our favorite fastballs by PLV. Go for this. I'm a huge fan. Winning ball club as well. He's done this now for a year and a half, not just a year. Go get Nestor Cortez. I'm in on this. Frankie Montas is going to be out for a bit, and I don't want to touch him because of that shoulder. Who replaces him is probably going to be Domingo Germán, which isn't so bad in 15 teamers. 361 ERA, 116 whip last year, about a 20% K rate. But yeah, I don't really think he's going to be like an SB2 or something like that. It's or just what we saw in 2019. I think this is weird because his fastball's not very good. Changeup is okay. Curveball can be very good. It's back and forth with him. He's more of a stream pick than anything else. Justin Verlander, and I'm also Clark Schmidt, I don't like whatsoever. Justin Verlander, I think I'm undervaluing right now, and I need to actually lift him up in the ranks. 175 ERA, 175 innings last year, 0.83 whip last season. Yes, his stuff on his four-seamer and slider were worse, but still above average in both ways. And this guy's got the dog in him, right? He's going to still be on a winning team with the Mets. Sure, it's not going to be as good, but yeah, I buy it. He's back from Tommy John. He still is on the Tommy John honeymoon. I think he's just really good, and I think that's great. Max Scherzer is more concerning to me because of the injury history, 145 innings last year. He's got multiple things bothering him, not just the Tommy John that was Justin Verlander. So I'm a little bit lower on Max Scherzer, but that should be really good as well. I'm probably avoiding Scherzer because people are going after him because of the name, and I just don't buy his longevity as much. You have Carlos Carrasco, and Carlos Carrasco is getting a little bit overlooked. 3.97 ERA, 133 whip, 24% K rate. He's a cherry bomb. Sometimes he has his changeup, sometimes he has a slider. His fastballs are not very good. Somebody says fastball carries him, and it's very weird. I don't really want to draft him in my 12 teamers because of this. Kodai Senga is very intriguing, and I would love to get him in all my drafts. I do wonder if he's going to be able to sustain the velocity numbers and the ghost fork. And anytime I hear about guys having massive splitters in Japan, you have to worry. Like, okay, we saw that with Tanaka and his elbow was messed up. Okay, we saw that with Shohei, his elbow was messed up. I mean, that's just me doing speculation. But Kodai Senga, I mean, at this point, like, what do you got to lose, right? Take a chance, make it happen. Jose Quintana, because he's not going like the top 16 rounds. Like he's there for you to take. And this is why I'm all about grabbing starters later on. That's where the value is, while hitters are just kind of like get your good ones early, and then you can find a lot of stuff with your pitchers. Jose Quintana, 2.93 ERA, 121 whip last year. I don't buy this at all. Don't do this. I think he had amazing command last year. Command is not as sticky as stuff, and he needed that command for it to work. I don't think it's going to happen again. It was such a wild thing. It was essentially what I wished to see in May 2021 happening in 2022, and that shouldn't happen again. Sorry. There are so many Oakland guys, okay? By the way, Tyler McGill, I wish he'd get opportunity. Same with David Peterson. David Peterson has a really good slider, but I think it overperformed. Tyler McGill, if he does become a starter, oh boy, I am so in on that. There are so many guys with athletics that are actually like sleepers. James Kaprielian throws harder than ever, and it's kind of sexy, but his command is a little bit bad. If he improves his command, I think there's a lot to unlock. He's more than a 17% swing strike rate guy or a K rate guy. I see like a 24 but 25% potential with James Kaprielian, but it's about the command there. Yeah, Paul Blackburn. Yeah, he started off hot and then it's not very good. It's really based on the curveball. I would not go with it. Ken Waldichuk has some eyebrows, but he kind of throws hard, and Hylock is 65% on the four-seamer. I think there's too much risk there. JP Sears, no way. But then there's Colin Muller, who was in the Sean Murphy trade, who I've liked before. I'm really curious to see what he gets, what he turns into. Drew Asinski, who came over from the KBO and had 24% K rate and 297 E rate. He's going to be starting, so don't overlook that. And then you have Shintaro Fujinami, who was this overwhelming pitcher for a while, and then it got worse, but then had a really nice season last year, 3.38 ERA and 67 frames, throws upper 90s and embraced the splitter a lot more. Very interesting. So keep your eye on the Oakland Athletics. I know they're not going to get many wins, but they might just steal some here and there. Don't forget them, as I need to speed up. Aaron Nola is dope and makes you feel dope. 200 plus innings last year, 200 plus strikeouts, 29% K rate, like 230 strikeouts last year. Don't forget this. His curveball so dang good. Don't be dumb. Zach Wheeler, I love him. I am worried about his constant injuries. The forearm injury scares me. feels like there's a problem happening now, and I'm dropping him back down in my rankings. 153 innings last year is really nice. I love Zach Wheeler when he pitches so much, but I feel like you're not going to get 200 innings again from Zach Wheeler. Yeah, Taiwan Walker, that was acquired, and I cannot stand him. Oh gosh, you can't figure it out. Is it a splitter that's going to carry him? Because I don't think that should carry him. Is it a slider? I don't think that's going to save him. 55% strike rate. Fastballs got worse last year. It's the whole thing. This is not going to work out. Ranger Suarez, you know the whole deal with him. Also picked up a 3.65 ERA by the end of the year, 133 WHIP though, and it was so painful to get there. Don't go for this. He's so command based, but maybe he is a good streamer at times. Bailey Falter, again, maybe a good streamer. Andrew Painter could come up. Keep your eye on that. Maybe the Phils elevate him into the rotation really quickly because who is their number 5 right now? It's Bailey Falter. And then you have Matt Strom. Yes, Matt Strom expressed the desire to start, and I would just had to mention that one because that's very fun. What are we doing in Pittsburgh, guys? I don't know. Ronzi Contreras, don't want to take that chance because he kind of throws hard, then he threw softer, and then it's going to be volatile. And I don't really think he's as good as we want him to be. Rich Hill's there. Hi. It's like a roast, but I don't want to touch that. It's way too volatile. Mitch Keller sometimes can be really good. The slider profiles really well at times, but he just can't do it. Stuff plus is like through the roof on Mitch Keller's slider, but he just can't sequence and command it. And the whole thing is just, ugh. I don't want to do it. It's too much of a headache. Vince Velasquez, no way. Get real. Mr. Coffee Cakes, JT Brubaker has a good slider at times, and then the sinker can get crushed, and it's just no thank you. And Luis Ortiz throws really hard, but I think it's a fastball's more hittable than I like it to be. Sub 10% swing strike rate on it. Slider can be really good, but then there's Johan Oviedo. Oviedo is a 96, 97 mile per hour four-seamer all of a sudden. And I think if he changes its location, it could be really good. Oviedo is really interesting. I watched a lot of him last year. There's something interesting there. Joe Musgrove. All right. We have 25 guys left with 10 minutes. Oh boy. We've got Joe Musgrove, 2.93 ERA, 108 WHIP. I think he's just good. 180s, 80 innings, 25% K rate. Solid. I think you'll be happy with him. Honestly, fewer fastballs, please. That would be great. Thanks a lot. Yu Darvish throws cutters that are really good. A slider that's really good and should be thrown more, and a fastball that's a little annoying because its command is not good. But hey, I dig it. I'm in. I think we're underrating what Yu Darvish can do. Blake Snell, 120 innings pitched is obviously the biggest problem, but he was delayed to start the year, and I feel like he was pretty good after that. Axe the changeup. He did it and succeeded. All right. 32% K rate overall last year, but 35% K rate along his last 95 innings across 17 starts. 2.53 ERA, 111 WHIP. Like, I'm in on Blake Snell. I really feel like he understands this now. He throws enough strikes with his fastball, and his breaking balls are good. We have Nick Martinez and the others, Seth Lugo, Adrian Morejon. Adrian Morejon is the most intriguing one to me. Nick Martinez is a decent streamer. I think there's more to get out of him, but I think he's maybe just too hittable. And Seth Lugo is kind of interesting. They want him to start. We'll see how those fastballs perform moving forward here, but there's some intrigue in those guys. Monitor it, but Adrian Morejon is the one that when he does start, the new slider I think is very, very good. You have Logan Webb, 192 innings of 2.90 ERA. The sinker gets so much drop in 116 WHIP. I like him more than Framber Valdez. I think the K rate can come back when the slider does become more well commanded. I know he lost movement on it. I think that can return. Changeup also could have a renaissance as well. I need to combine Alex Cobb and Alex Wood because it's like, are you guys just going to buy that they're just unlucky? I don't know. Cobb's got a splitter that is kind of inconsistent. The fastball was harder, but still kind of bad. Well, Alex Wood increased his velocity and sinker was still not very good. The slider is good, and the changeup isn't that good. It's weird. They're both fine. But don't go crazy for them, okay? Just like end of your 12 teamers, you want to take those chances, go ahead. But keep in mind, they have to go into Yankee Stadium to start the year. Whoever gets that start, no thank you. Against the White Sox, as a lefty for Alex Wood, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to start him. I'm Sean Shemaya, Mashaya. I don't know. I don't want to go for it. I think he's too inconsistent. Secondary stuff wasn't good enough. Ross Stripling's changeup is really good, and then nothing else is. Like, the four-seamer was so bad. So I think there's not enough really for me to rely on him. And Anthony Descafani and Sean Jelly and Jake Nunes. Descafani honestly could have a nice bounce back season. That would be an ultra sleeper, as he's just not thought about at all. But I think that actually could be good if he's healthy. Like there could be like a 3 ERA, the 120 whip, and a 21% K rate there. Like that's something to be said. Oh boy, Luis Castillo. Oh man, just throw sliders down and into lefties. Can you just please do that? Please just do that for me. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Changeup wasn't so good last year. Imagine if he gets the changeup back and he throws more four seamers up. The sinker isn't very good, but I think he recognizes that in Seattle. I love Luis Castillo. I'm getting him in every single draft I can. Robbie Ray though, his sinker isn't so good, but he introduced the sinker and then he was good. I mean, no, that's me talking to myself. I think that's because he has something different than the four seamer that mess up guys, but the sinker itself is not good. It just made the four seamer that much better. While the slider actually was kind of below average, especially for what it has been for Robbie Ray. I think that you're going to see a good Robbie Ray for you. 27% K rate is still going to be there. 3.7 ERA with the 120 whip. Even if you got exactly that again, that's still good for your teams. He will drive you crazy at times though. So I kind of find myself pushing him to like the 40s, but that's still helpful. And I want him. I'm not going to drop him through the year. So I want him on my fantasy teams. George Kirby. All right. I love George Kirby. 130 innings last year of 25% K rate. He had a 16% swing strike rate on his four seamer. That is awesome. 14% swing strike rate against lefties, 19% against righties. Mwah! You love to see it. Really good command guy, and a really good command guy that has an improving slider. Oh boy, this could soar for George Kirby. I am so in this year on George Kirby. You have Logan Gilbert, who I kind of like to, but I also kind of don't because he's not developing the slider and changeup and curveball as I wanted him to in 2022. Four seamer is good though. He just attacks the zone with it. Doesn't have the command that George Kirby has, but it's still very effective, near 13% swing strike rate, despite not having Kirby's command. If he has Kirby's command and lifts that thing up more, oh boy, this could be really good for Logan Gilbert. So I kind of like them both, and they're both workhorses. 186 innings for Logan Gilbert. But I want to believe in George Kirby more. And Marco Gonzalez just don't touch whatsoever. It's kind of interesting. He's the number 5 there. And the Mariners need one more starter. I don't know who that's going to be. Okay. We have Jack Flaherty. I think his shoulder's just messed up, and it's everything is just bad there for Jack Flaherty. But hey, if he's pumping Ched in the spring training, his stock's going to go way up. He's never been really bad when he pitches, which is kind of interesting. You have Jordan Montgomery, who I think doesn't know how to finish off batters. There's a lot of talk about his four seamer being utilized with the Cardinals, and there was a moment when it was good, but then it was bad again. And just I know that August was kind of wild and stuff. That's fine, but yeah, Jordan Montgomery, I don't know, man. I'm not too enthused by it, but he's a fine addition. He's kind of like a Toby. Maybe he does get more out of his changeup and curve for a full season inside of St. Louis, but he doesn't have Yadier Molina back there. So I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of this one. Miles Michaelis and Adam Wainwright. Look at all these guys. Oh my gosh. Miles Michaelis, he's a Toby at best. I'm not chasing this whatsoever. You'll find another one. Adam Wainwright's, I'm sorry, but I just think that your sinker's terrible. Even though it had good results, it was, I think, really bad. Steven Matz is very intriguing for deep leagues. Don't ignore Steven Matz. There could be something there that is like a Toby, and no one's really talking about it. Matthew Liberatore, that is a sneaky play. That is maybe my sleeper of the year because he increases velocity later on the season. Last year had an improved slider. There's a lot to like all of a sudden about Matthew Liberatore. Oh, keep an eye out for that when he does get the call. Dakota Hudson, of course, Toby Flenderson. I mean, Toby Flenderson is Dakota Hudson at best, and you just don't want to rely on that. I have 3 minutes left. Oh boy, Jacob deGrom. He's the best pitcher on the planet. Is he going to get enough innings? Probably not. So we're not going to do this. Okay. John Gray, his fastball is worse than I thought it was. It's not so bad. It's like a 30% hard contact rate. I just want him to go up on its high lock. It was a 37% high lock. Just get the dang thing up. It drives me nuts because I think that there can be so much more to this. Only 7.3% swing strike rate against right-handers. That should be way higher. But his slider is elite against right-handers. So as I drop down on my chair some more, I think that John Gray does have that extra level, but he has to stay healthy. Only 127 innings last year. And of course, he needs to make that adjustment. You have Nathan Eovaldi getting acquired. Good stuff there, but his velocity was so bad. It went down to 94, and it drives me nuts. Yes, he did kind of do okay in those 8 starts, despite it, 2.91 ERA, but 124 whip and 17% strikeout rate. I think that unless we see the velocity back to 96, 97, I'm so very much out on Nathan Eovaldi. Andrew Heaney, shoulder stuff. I'm not touching shoulder, guys. I think he's going to go too high. We know that the strikeout rate was good. We know that he was fixed by the Dodgers. But even when he falters, is he going to have the same advice to get him back on track in Texas? I don't think so. I'm going to stay away from Andrew Heaney. Martin Perez, nah, that was ridiculous. What a Vargas rule that was. I should just call it the Perez rule at this point. amazing. Jake Odorizzi should come at some point, but I think they're just going to limit him to 5 innings or so. Glenn Otto, I don't want to touch. There's some Cole Raggins and stuff like that. We're not going to talk about any of those. We've got 2 minutes left. All right, here we go. Kevin Gausman, I've talked so much about him. I think the BABIP of 363 is obviously historic, or 364, but man, there were some reasons that he deserved it because the fastball does get crushed. So that is my back and forth on this. All that said, 335 ERA, 28% K rate. You're going to see a lot of things about the FIP being so good. That's because the K rate was so high and the walk rate was low. But it's saying that the BABIP is just lucky, and it's not. So all of those expected stats that you guys are quoting are dependent on the hit per nine being 9.7 being just unlucky, and it wasn't. So that makes me a little bit hesitant to go after Kevin Gausman. He's still inside my top 20. I think he's at 20 right now, but I'm not as in as other people are. Alek Manoah, 196 innings last year. He's got that dog in him. The sinker was actually worse than it should have been. He even talked about losing it for a little bit. I think it's going to get better. I think the slider movement is so good, and he's going to get better at that. While the four-seamer, oh boy, does it mess guys up. 19% hard contact allowed against his sinker, by the way, by right-handers, and 90% swing strike rate against right-handers for the four-seamer. I think the Alek Manoah is fantastic. Chris Bassett is a wonderful addition for the Blue Jays. I think he's just a kitchen sink guy that has a lot to offer when it comes to a sinker inside the zone. The slider and cutter have gone better, and the big curveball, I think, could be used even more. Has a ton of success. I love it. You have Jose Barrios. Everyone's like, what happened? What happened to Jose Barrios? Yeah, his four-seamers had a hard contact of 29%, and then all of a sudden 44%. There it is against left-handers. He just got crushed. I think that can get adjusted. I think he can get fixed with that. This is fixable. It's just about location for Jose Barrios. I'm kind of in, honestly, if he's like just a free thing to do. And we know we're not touching Yusei Kikuchi. I don't know what they're doing with the fifth thing. I talked about Ricky Tedderman at one point, but I don't think the Jays are going to do that because they did limit him last year, and they are going to likely limit him this year. So thanks so much for the tweets about that. You were right. I was wrong about Ricky Tedderman, but do not touch Kikuchi whatsoever. He's just not a good command guy. We have 10 seconds left to do all the Nationals. Corbin is bad. Patrick Corbin is bad. Mackenzie Gore could be very interesting, but he still has command issues. Josiah Gray, absolutely not. And Kate Cavalli could be the sleeper of the year, but just give him time. Woo! Oh, Kate Cavalli is very interesting. Yeah, law of the Nationals. We did it. We did it. Okay. Did we? But did we make it? We have 5 minutes to go. Did we make it, guys? All right. 100, fine. Yeah. Do I have any time left? Yeah. It was funny. It was funny. Did we make it, guys? I'm going to hit refresh. We made it. We made it. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Asher, are you joking? Asher, I know who you are. $743 donated saying Nestor Cortez Jr. is an ace. Guys, oh. Thank you guys so much. James with 100, Paul for 25, Will for 25 as well. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, all of you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that we can do a thing like this. How many times have you been told by someone you play fantasy baseball? And there are people that try and think that what we're doing is not worthy of our time, or it's beneath them, and we should be doing better things. And God, I love the fact that this is such a testament to how wrong they are. Look at us. We just raised $10,000 for the ALS Association. We are making a difference. We are showcasing that this community is a wonderful, wonderful thing. From everybody here, the experts spending their time for you for 40 hours, giving all their smart advice and their takes and entertainment for you, to all the people donating prizes along the way, and then all of you guys just showing up, just being here, supporting the entire time, the chat. I mean, you did this. You made this happen. You donated over $10,000 to the ALS Association. It's so beautiful. It is so wonderful. This is something that I hope all of you can wear proudly on your chest. It doesn't matter how much you gave. You got us to this goal. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been my dream when we started this 4 years ago. And I can't wait to continue seeing every single year this expanding. Um, I think it's a special, special thing that we can do. And thank you. Thank you so, so much for being a part of this. So, all right. Okay. So, it is time to give back to all of you who have supported this wonderful event, who have helped us reach this 10,000 goal. Asher, you crazy, wonderful man, for pushing us through the end there. All right. So, what we do now is you go here. We have got to give away some prizes. I feel like I need to have some music for this. I feel like it's like a proper thing for me to have like all right, I'm just gonna play this song. If you wanna Twitch, if you wanna just get upset at me, I don't care. We're just gonna play this song right now. And we're gonna play it on repeat. Twitch, don't hate me. Uh all right, so we've got prizes to give away to everybody. Thanks so much for watching. All right, winner of PitchCon t-shirts is Darren Matheson. Congratulations, Darren. And keep in mind, everybody, we are going to be handing these out. We're going to be sending you emails across this next week to make sure you get these prizes delivered to you. And everybody who was involved with it. We've got a PitchCon mug going to Rich Schuberlin. Congratulations, Richard. A copy of the MLB The Show 2023 going to Daniel Mitchell. That was from Alex Fast, by the way. Congrats, Daniel. Ron Chandler's baseball forecaster, staple of the fantasy community, is going to Daniel Thibodeau. I think I got that right. Congratulations, Daniel Thibodeau. A free CBS Commissioner League is going to Jimmy V. Jimmy V, congrats. You guys have a free entry into your league this year. We have some more to give away here. Let me get it up. A minor copy of the minor league baseball analyst is Kevin Rawls. Congrats. By the way, shout out to Scott Chu for helping me collect all these prizes right now, taking that time. Copy of the Fantasy Black Book of 2023 is Derek Eichler. Congratulations, Derek, as I need to take a sip of water. All right. Oh, man. We've got an issue of USA Today Sports Weekly Fantasy Baseball going to Kevin McPhillips. Congratulations, Kevin. $50 entry to an NFBC league is Dan Metzinger. Congratulations, Dan. The Pitcherless baseball cap that is right over here. It's going to be sent, of course, courtesy of us. It goes to Josiah Tinder. Congratulations, Josiah. Anyway, sorry. We have 1 month of Roto Grinders premium access going to Trevor Donahue. 3 months subscription to Reliever Recon goes to David Hoet. David Hoet. You have 1 year subscription to PL Basic. Alex Vaughn. Enjoy the ad-free website, my man. Way better without it, let me tell you. 1 year subscription to Master Ball. That is Todd Zola's Master Ball goes to Christopher Ruhonen. Oh, man. You guys are here. You're here to listen to Nick pronounce some of these names. Yeah, okay. I got it. I'm nailing it. Now let's do a blind draft. Oh, my gosh. 1 year top tier subscription. Top tier to Eric Cross's Patreon goes to Walter Hilberg. Congrats, Walter. And guess what? Who got the 1 year subscription to Sports Ethos? Well, it's panelist himself, Ryan Bloomfield. Awesome, man. Hang out with Joe Rico there. 1 year subscription to PL Plus. Hey, look at this. It's Sacris himself, Lance. Sacris, congratulations. You have a free year of PL Plus. 1 year subscription to Baseball HQ goes to John Malenga. 1 year subscription to FTN, courtesy of Vlad Sedler and Matty Wood. Justin Menecki, congrats. And also, I would say Michael J. Govier. 1 year sub to Rasball DFS is Stephen Eric Hodgigian. You know who you are, Steven. Congratulations. You won it. 1 year subscription to PL Pro. The coveted $240 value. If you use code PitchCon, it's $40 off. John Scazafava. Congratulations. You got a free year of PL Pro. Who won the Justin Mason bathing suit? Everyone wants to know that. It is Britton Joshua Allen. Congrats. Enjoy the bathing suit. Eric Davis, guess what? You won a guest spot on the Wins Above Fantasy podcast. But on the Triple Play Fantasy podcast, the guest spot goes to Kyle Youngins. Congratulations. The pitcherless hoodie. This one I'm wearing right now. By the way, it is a Toby shirt underneath. In case you guys were wondering, I couldn't hide it for this one. But the hoodie goes to Tyler Kirschenman. Congrats, Tyler. Kirscheneman. I got it. This is a fun one. This is the original baseball drawing from Ellen Adair. And that goes to Rob McCabe. I wonder what you're going to do. Definitely post that one on Twitter. Oh, this is good. Draft a team with Rob DiPietro. I want to make sure I got that right. It's Dave Funnel. Dave. Oh, man. Oh, that's going to be such a good team, the two of you doing that. Congrats. We got 3 good prizes left here. We've got Mackenzie Gore's signed baseball. Seth Wolfmeyer, congratulations. Mackenzie Gore signed baseball, courtesy of Dave Sherman, by the way. He's going to be really upset that I mentioned that, but he is so generous to donate that. A ticket to First Pitch Arizona. When you arrive, when you're there in Arizona in October, you better come and say hi and tell me that you want it here. And that is Joseph Sarzinski. Joseph Sarzinski. Congratulations. You've got it. And last but not least, the lifetime subscription that we only give away at PitchCon. So it's the 4th time we've given this away. That goes to Josh Smisko. Congrats. We will be reaching out to all of the winners shortly thereafter this week, so be patient. If you do not get an email from us, please reach out. There's probably something that got into spam or someone didn't message you, whatever it is. If you heard your name, make sure that you email a week from today. That's info@pitchros.com. But that's it, everybody. That was PitchCon 2023. We did it. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. What an incredible thing that we do. And that's only possible because of this community. I feel so lucky that I get to be the medium for it. But it's not me. It's all of you. It's the power of this fantasy community together to do such a good thing together. So thank you all so much. We're going to do it again next year. But until then, have a wonderful night, everybody. Take care.